Welcome back. After a week hiatus, we are back on the Down East Sports College Football Show. It's week 13, and it is brought to you by my missing organ, which is why we were not here last week. Unfortunately, did not pull off the Hugh Freeze show as I was getting something cut out of my body.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk all things ECU, all things college football, even though it might be an appendixless opinion.
Wait, this is the football show? I thought this was the Florida Everblades show.
It is the Florida Everblades show.
I thought this was hockey.
It could be. The Detroit Red Wings are in first place in the Atlantic Division. Great week of football. Great week to be a Pirate, especially if you're shirtless and in the student section. That is as lively as I've seen an ECU crowd since I think we hosted NC State a few years back. 31-27 your final. I got the 31 right we texted on the side. I had 38-31, but I got the 31 right.
Yep.
Great football game, just spectacular football game. Very, very physical football game. The pads were clapping. Defense continues to impress. The run game is so much improved from the beginning of the season. London Montgomery, 103 yards on 27 carries with 2 tuds. And just a miracle touchdown at the end. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask from a college football game other than what we saw in Dowdy-Ficklin on Saturday.
You really can't ask for much more. I mean, obviously you can ask for us to blow them out, but that was never going to happen. That's a pretty good football team that we just beat. I was not in the stadium on Saturday. I had a wedding to be at, but you best believe that a bunch of us with about 4 minutes to go started gathering around my phone to watch the end of the game. And I kept up with it throughout as much of it as I could, but all I'm going to say is the crowd that we've been so just uptight and angry about basically all season long.
All season long.
Y'all brought it. Second of all, players brought it. Coaches brought it for basically the whole game, just about.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, the second time we've seen that all season?
I think so. I mean, there's, at least in my 10 years an ECU fan, so since 2017, since I decided that's where I was going to go to college. And I don't think there's been as much juice around this program. I don't think there's been more to be hyped about. Let's make the college football playoffs might be a little overstepping, but I think the reality of this being a playoff caliber team down the line going forward is definitely in reality.
Yeah.
It's about time to make this conference our conference, and I think we got the guy under the helm to get it done, and they can play ball, man. This is something we have not seen since 2013.
Yeah. I mean, this, whether it will be or not, this should be the stepping stone into the greater greener pastures. Whether it is or not, showing this sign after what we did to close out the year last year, it can't mean any bad things. I mean, maybe bad things will come, but with the trajectory that we seem to be putting ourselves on just week in, week out, I feel like if we can carry this over year after year, we're going to be in for some special football in Greenville.
I really think so. I mean, I know we're probably going to lose some key pieces at the end of the season, but it's just hard not to believe when you have a coach like Blake. I mean, his post-game presser rivaled Kirby Smart's. I mean, just the man's got it. He understands this program. He understands the fan base. And I think last weekend there was a new group of Pirate fans that were not born but reborn going forward. It stinks we don't have another home game, to be completely honest, because I think you're just going to continue to see the stands get fuller and fuller.
Yeah.
I obviously don't want to wish this season away because it's already gone by too fast, but
Right.
I'm looking forward to what next year looks like from a crowd standpoint. There's juice around the program again. There's things to be excited about in Greenville, North Carolina.
I'm just ready to start 1-0 next year.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only bummer about this. If, we play a first half against NC State, we, hang on against Tulane and we're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Instead, we still need a little help. The possibility is quite there. I think everyone should be a ginormous Temple Owls fan the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Who gives a hoot? We do.
We do.
But even
I am Temple tough the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Even if we don't get the help going forward from Temple, this is still a great season. 9-3 is 1,000% in the realm of possibility. Big matchup this weekend. Sneaky matchup.
Yep.
Even Vegas is telling you that. But I mean, there's just I keep saying it, but I've not been this excited about ECU football in the entirety of my fandom. I have not.
Yeah.
Matt said it best. ECU doesn't lose at home. They have one loss at home, and it's a close game to Texas State.
Matt, I'm going to get to that when we do our preview, so just hold on, because it's not just that they don't lose it, that they haven't lost at home. We'll get to it.
I got the point split too. It's
Oh no, we'll get to it.
Yeah, guess where Tulane's one conference was? They got absolutely goat rodeoed by UTSA.
Without question.
Goat rodeo. I mean, they were down 2-3 possessions at the half. Watched a lot of UTSA football today.
It was a bludgeoning. Yeah, I did not have that luxury. Unfortunately, I'm not recovering from a major surgery. But
yeah,
what a lucky man you are.
I don't know if lucky's the right word because I'm still in pain. I ran out of the good stuff, and I want more of the good stuff. Or send me back that. You want to know why players can play injured? That Toradol's one hell of a drug. Hell of a drug.
That's why he's podcasting tonight, folks.
The muscle relaxers are helping. But just an all-time performance. Everything you can ask for from this team, they did it. Like I said, and I tweeted it out during the game. The defense outside of the one big run Memphis had was pretty stout. They made them work the ball down the field. They weren't giving up big plays. They were pretty solid on the perimeter, which is something I will get to with the UTSA preview. The offense, yeah, they had a couple lulls here and there, but for the most part was on top of it. This football team's in a great spot. They're probably, if things go the way we expect them to go, are going to have a good bowl game to play against a quality opponent. And we look forward to next year. I mean, if everything falls right, maybe they sneak into the playoffs. I don't think so personally, but
it's incredibly unlikely. We're not at all dead, but obviously there's a lot of stuff that we can't control.
It's above 1%.
It is. And we're coming in. We got 2 games left. And there's a non-0% chance we go to the college football playoff.
There's a non-0% chance I'm at the game in Boca.
Facts.
But
also, let us know if you're going to one or both of San Antonio and Boca Raton for these last two road games we got.
If you are going to San Antonio and you see a larger woman, just tweet at us with the caption Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I was about to say, feel free to tag Charles Barkley as well.
Yep, just tag him. It would be pretty funny. But outside of the Memphis, I don't have much more to talk about the Memphis game other than just a high quality win. Couldn't be more prouder of the boys. Couldn't be more prouder of the fan base inside the stadium.
Right.
And Mike Wright punted the ball, which was great.
He might be the best player on our team. Also, I'd be remiss to not point out that last week we didn't get to laugh at Charlotte.
We'll get to laugh at him this week.
I know, but that was very close to being one of my picks this week.
I almost took I won't say it during the pick segment. I'll say it now. If you can find a line for Ryan Puglisi over a touchdown and a half, I'd take it.
Yeah.
Take the Georgia backup to throw a touchdown and a half.
I mean, Georgia's favored by like 94 and a half.
41 and a hook, I think.
That's 43. I looked
43?
before the show, yeah.
It's a large number.
It's quite a sum.
I love how much Charlotte sucks.
Yeah, they're terrible.
For every 5 guys, there's 1 girl. Come to ECU.
Yeah.
On top of that, in the Southeastern Conference, A&M with the worst first half of all time and arguably the best second half of all time.
I don't know if I've ever seen a worse quarterback in my life than Marcel Reed in the first half of that game.
He looked like he forgot how to play football.
He looked like he forgot how to be just an athlete. He didn't. It's like It's not only did he not know what sport he was playing, he didn't know what sport was. He didn't know the definition of sport. It was absolutely disgusting. And now that I've said that, you go ahead and talk about the rest of the game while I eat this fat bowl of crow.
God, if you're Shane Beamer, you do it again. You snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It's quite impressive how often South Carolina does it, like their fan base, the team left at halftime.
Yep.
And I like Beamer.
I do too.
If you're South Carolina, although his job just got taken because I was convinced he was going to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, but that was the easy one though. Like I'll be pulling for whatever school Shane Beamer's coaching at next year. I don't think it's South Carolina.
You took a first-round quarterback and then have dropped him to the 5th round. The man's going to drop like Shador.
Oh yeah.
Over 7 touchdowns.
Plus 105. It's even for 7 touchdowns against Charlotte. That's
about the over, I think, too.
The over's in like low 50s.
Yeah, that's about the over. You just need Charlotte to score 1 time. I just don't know how you excuse that as a fan base.
You don't.
30-3. They scored 27 in the second, or well, obviously more than 27, but
yeah, scored 28.
Yeah, just Matt, I don't know if it's free money, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
They had him on the ropes, man.
Yeah.
They had him on the ropes, and this is
30-3 at halftime.
And it's not like A&M can play defense. It's not like A&M can play defense.
No. How do you go and not score a point in the second half after putting up 30 in the first? Well, that team may not be able to play defense. That's one hell of an environment you just did that in.
I subscribe to the Brooks Austin theory. New offensive coordinator from South Carolina. I think they ran out of plays in the second half.
They just might have.
I think they just ran out of plays, to be completely honest.
Because he called one hell of a first half, but
which again, like, how do you not have more in the bag? I get it's your first game, but like, you got it. I mean, just go back to what you were doing.
Miami, Ohio's coach just got trucked. He just got plowed on the sideline.
I almost took Central Michigan, and I didn't, and I feel like I should have.
Who do they
have? Is it Ball State or Bowling Green? One or the other.
Oh my god, They just showed it again. He just got sat down by some DB from Buffalo or linebacker or something.
Well, now that you
Moving
went
on.
pro, I'm going to blow some smoke up my ass.
Yeah, do it. You should.
The University of Georgia absolutely dominates the Texas Longhorns in Athens at night. They should have scored more than they did.
Yeah.
They should have beat them a lot worse than they did. The second and third quarters were not good. That defense that has been lackluster all year was spectacular against a subpar offensive line and a one-dimensional Texas team. I think Kirby Smart's nuts are still dangling on Stark's forehead right now from that onside kick. That is the most hype. I won't say the most hype because the Ohio State game was unreal, but that onside kick, just the brass ones that took to you're up 2 possessions. You didn't have to do it. Your defense has been smoking them all game. They can't do anything on offense. They haven't sustained a drive other than the one in the first quarter. And if you want to, they scored a touchdown. Yeah, they got the ball on the 30 on a Gunnar Stockton interception. They moved the ball 36 yards. They had one good drive and they kicked the field goal. They couldn't do crap on offense.
No.
Gunnar Stockton, for the second time this year, has 5 touchdowns and 5 incompletions, both against ranked opponents. One of them still in the top 10. That man should be in New York. I know I'm inherently biased, and I've been doing the whole bit, 5-7, they're not that good. They might be the best team in the Southeastern Conference right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
They're hot, and they're getting hot at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
The double bye, the possibility of the double bye actually scares me. Like, I don't really want to play in Atlanta, but the possibility of the double bye scares me. It's a lot of time off.
I think you'll. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think y'all are playing for an SEC title.
We'll see. They either Bama's got to lose or A&M's got to lose.
I think
both possibilities.
The way A&M looked, woof, and then I mean, if we
who do they play? They don't play. They play a cupcake this week, and then they play Texas.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say they got Texas.
I think it's in Arlington, I think, or Austin rather.
I think it is in Austin because it was in College Station last year.
Isn't the toughest environment, but
bro, neither is their own home stadium where they almost lost to South Carolina. You should have lost to South Carolina. Should have got boat raced by South Carolina.
30 points in the first half.
28 or 27-point lead with zeros on the clock in the second quarter. You guys are kidding me, man.
To finish my inherent bias towards the Southeastern Conference, OU gets Bama again.
Yep.
Great football game, actually. Really, really good football game. I know it's kind of like the Texas fans were complaining that they were penalized so much when you're 126th in the country in penalties. But, could you have called that pass interference on that 4th down? Probably. They didn't. Whatever. No. I don't think that changes the fact that OU has at least the best defense in the Southeastern Conference, if not maybe the country.
Yeah.
They made Ty Simpson look like a chicken with his head cut off. The fact that Alabama can't run the football is just weird.
It's extremely weird.
It's something we've never seen in our lifetime.
No.
OU's offense is still just inept.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I'll cut them some slack just based on that. I feel like they still, I feel like the Mateer injury came at such a horrible time to where they still haven't gotten
don't know if he's healthy.
Right, exactly. I don't know if he's healthy, and I still feel like even if he is, they just, it hasn't lined up for them to get in. They haven't had a spot where they can just get in their true rhythm, And so I don't know. I like you said, I think they're the best defense in the SEC at minimum, if not the country.
Yeah.
The offense just needs to be good enough for them to go win the vast majority of football games. But
It's kind of weird in the SEC. I feel like not every team, but the powers that be in that conference all have a boogeyman.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Georgia can't beat Alabama.
no.
Stark can't beat Georgia, and Bama can't beat Oklahoma.
Alabama has an Oklahoma problem.
Like words I never thought I would utter a day in my life.
No, especially with the state of those two programs when Oklahoma joined the conference.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
OU the first year in the conference was a joke. I
To be
mean,
fair, the SEC decided to give the most hellacious schedule possible to those dudes to
yeah, and then
to
you
start their
have
tenure. But
A&M that hasn't played a team that's above or not in the bottom 7 of the conference.
yeah,
Which I don't want to get in the weeds of that, but Barstool Tate did a randomizer wheel, which I think he spun until he got Texas A&M to be like, "Oh, we'd be good in the SEC." Well, yeah, you chose the easiest schedule possible.
yeah,
Lick my taint.
right,
Um, to get back into the conference that actually matters, in the American,
right.
the conference that matters. Navy outlasts USF. I don't know how much you call that game at the wedding, but
That game and the South Carolina game were both those were both on during the sitting around drinking beer and then getting ready part of the day. So
I mean,
I got to see
USF was
most
down
of those games.
15 at the half
Yeah,
and storms back, and then we just have a back and forth fourth quarter, just a similar to the ECU game, just a back and forth great football game. Navy outlasts them a couple huge plays, just big time explosives in
massive
the fourth
plays.
quarter. It kind of stinks if you're USF because I think they probably are the best team in the American, but they have just squandered this opportunity.
I think from a talent standpoint, probably.
Yes.
I'm kind of in the same thought as most of their fan base, to where I don't think they want Golish to leave, but they also recognize that, like, what has he done aside from beat most of the teams he's supposed to?
Yeah.
I like I like I think a lot of them are kind of excited that he's one of the top coaching prospects out there for one of these open jobs, because
He's probably going to get one.
he'll win a good game or two. I mean, obviously we saw the beginning of the season, but he still can't win in conference. Like, what have
No,
they done since he's been there? What have they done in conference? His first year they were terrible. Then they started to figure it out, and then now this year them and Memphis are the favorites, and Memphis is the same thing basically.
I mean they've lost their 2 conference games by a combined 6 points, both of them on the road. That's what I had to go double check because
Yeah,
I knew the Memphis game was close. Which obviously, like, is the Memphis loss a bad loss? No, but I had this thought while you were talking. Is he the Ruffin McNeil of USF?
he might be. I mean,
Which,
in a
like,
just to put it in a micro standpoint, I guess. Like, I mean, just from the he can't win the big one kind of thing, I feel like he might have to be. But which, I mean, that's the thing is, actually, wait, no, let me not say that. He can win the big one because he did twice to start the year. He
yeah,
can't win the most important ones.
yeah,
That's where it becomes an issue.
yeah. Which kind of leads me into this mess of a scenario we're in the American right now.
Yep.
Which it really seems like the committee's just going to hand it to whoever wins the conference is going to be the 12 seed.
Probably.
Which
mean,
I feel bad because you're going to catch like a Georgia or a Texas Tech or an Ole Miss. Say, hey, congrats, welcome to the playoffs. You're going to go get drummed by an SEC school.
You're going to get a good team. I mean, there was no one in the G5 this year that was to the level of Boise State last year. Plus, because of that and because of just the shifting kind of parity across the entire landscape of college football, you look at there's I don't know, 4 teams that realistically could probably win the national championship this year, and the rest of them are all very good teams that aren't too far behind them, but just not quite good enough. And so everything's kind of just shrunk a little bit like that to the point where no matter who you play, you're going to get a damn good team. And like there's not going to be there's not one team you could get in that spot if you do, assuming they get the 12 seed, which there's still an outside chance there could be 2 G5s. But I just I don't see it going well this year specifically.
I don't either. As strong as the American is, I don't. And JMU's getting kind of hosed right now.
Which I will say, I've been messing around with the ESPN the playoff predictor.
Yeah.
On their website. And every time that I run through the scenario with Notre Dame, so basically every time I just pick Notre Dame to win their last 2 games, it puts the winner of the American at 11 and James Madison at 12.
Well,
it does not value the ACC if that means if Notre Dame was to get in.
I think the ACC is a one bid league.
They genuinely might be a 0 bid league. I don't think they're definitely not a 2. They're at most 1.
Well,
and this is coming from an ACC guy too.
We'll get to it in my rankings, but Miami might get hosed because I think if there is a team from the ACC that deserves to go, it's Miami. But they might get hosed.
They're the best team in the ACC, but they also haven't earned it. Like you got to the games on the field have to matter. And I'll tell you one thing. There's one conference that you will not find in my top 12, and I'll just leave it at that.
Which
speaking of that conference, did you see the news out of Raleigh and Charlottesville today?
No.
NC State, Virginia, who famously two conference foes that met in a non-conference game this season, will be playing each other again next year in Brazil.
Huh?
NC State and Virginia. In Brazil.
In Brazil.
In Brazil. I don't believe I got ball sacked there.
Why? Why?
Let's see.
I mean, if they wanted to play in a third world country, they could have just played in Fayetteville.
Yeah, this is from Corey Smith and then Unnecessary Roughness. Everyone's confirmed it. NC State and Virginia are set to play a game in Brazil in 2026, according to Pack Pride sources. It will count as an ACC contest, with the 2 teams playing the first ever game in Brazil and the first international game for both teams.
Well, at least
that is from Corey Smith at Pack Pride, who does great work, especially in the crapping on UNC department.
At least this one's a conference game.
Yeah, I mean, the problem. All right, so this year we had the non-conference game. Next year we have the international game. Do they play in a bowl game do they play in like the Bahamas Bowl next year or the year after? I mean, do they play an out of country game? Do they go kick off the season in Dublin?
In Dublin.
And it's not a conference game.
Presented by Duke's Mayo.
Right. Presented by the Aer Lingus. The Aer Lingus.
Well, out of
actually presented by Troy Parrott with a hat trick to send Ireland to the World Cup playoffs or qualifying playoffs in March.
I'm at a loss for words. Brazil. Jesus.
NC State and Virginia of all teams.
There's going to be 5 people there.
Why can't we send like Delaware and Sam Houston down there or some shit like that? That's your welcome to FBS, Delaware. You get to go play an out-of-conference game against a conference opponent. Sam Houston State, UTEP, pick one. Actually, I guess UTEP's going to the Pac-12, but
UMass versus UConn.
Oh yeah, my favorite rivalry.
Jesus. Out of pure speechlessness, I'm going to move us to the UTSA preview.
That's a great idea. I suggest you do that.
Tail of the tape here. ECU 2.5-point favorites last time I checked. 62.5 is your total. UTSA is a night and day different team at home and on the road. 3-1 at home this year. They have scored 193 points at home and only have allowed 102. I meant to get the away splits, but I guarantee you it is much different.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got on this game before I get in the weeds?
Well, so to touch on what you just said and what Mr. Jones was saying earlier, not only is it's not just a UTSA doesn't lose at home thing. I want you to guess how many home conference games they have lost since joining the American.
1.
0. They are undefeated in conference play since joining the American in home games.
They also just got their first away conference win last week.
Right. But yeah, they not only do they not or have they not lost at like this season at home in conference, they just don't do it ever. And so honestly, it's pretty cool that ECU has a legitimate shot to go do something pretty cool and borderline historic this weekend. But I don't know if you want to take the lead on the actual football, because I got some notes too, but I'll let you start it if you want.
Owen McCown has actually been pretty good this year.
He's been decent.
Especially compared to last year where he kind of struggled.
He's been efficient. I'll say that.
Almost 2,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I believe 2 of them coming against no, he had 1 last week. He had 2 against Tulane, I think.
That sounds right.
Throwing at 67.3% completion rating, pretty impressive. Throws a great deep ball.
Oh yeah, it's pretty. Which he had a couple good teachers, but
yeah. The deep ball is there very much. This is very much a yards after catch team. They love the screen game, whether it be your traditional wide receiver screens, your extension of the run game, or if it's just a regular screen, a split screen. They like to do both. Very, very talented running back Robert Henry Jr., averaging about 7.1 yards per carry, almost a 2,000-yard rusher so far this year through 10 games.
Almost a 1,000-yard rusher.
Is it 1,000?
He's got 983.
Oh, my bad. Almost a 1,000-yard rusher. Either way, still quite impressive.
I'll say because I'll say this because I wrote him down because he's got 138 carries on the year for 983 and 9 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Last week, 8 carries for 1 yard against Charlotte is what I saw.
Yeah, he had a big game against Tulane, though, which scares me.
Will Henderson last week, who has 86 carries on the year for 603 and 4 touchdowns. Last week, 19 carries for $185 and a score.
Yeah, he had. I know he had a big game. They can run the rock.
It's a 2-headed monster at running back that we absolutely need to be careful of. Thankfully, you are looking. We just so happen to have the number 1 rush defense and scoring defense in the American Conference this year. So.
Well, the kind of the one thing that concerns me though is with that screen game is where we're susceptible on defenses on the perimeter. This team messes with your eyes a lot. They not necessarily eye candy, but they run a lot of RPOs, a lot of jet sweeps. Pretty much every one of their screen passes comes off a play fake. It's just something to look for. From the defensive perspective, they give you a lot of the same look where they run a 2 high safety a majority of the time.
Which they're going to have to.
Is the majority of the time it's not cover 2. They mix man, the cover. They run a lot of things out of that look. It's actually kind of impressive. Middle of the pack defense, middle of the pack everything statistically in the American Conference. Yeah. But
I mean,
This is not a team to mess around with.
no, not at all. I know I was looking at their DBs. I don't. It probably has a lot to do with the way, like uh with their play style and them having defensive backs always kind of back. But they definitely seem to be, I'd say, the best part of that defense from what I can tell in the more limited knowledge than you have on this defense. It, it feels more of like a no fly zone than a traffic stop. Um, but I will say, just to compare defenses from a stop rate perspective, ECU, I can't remember. I forgot to write down the actual number, but 21st in the country in defensive stop rate, ECU is, with UTSA sitting at 79. Obviously, that number is likely to not be, or to look a lot better than 79 playing at home. But I I do feel like it's a defense that, considering how both sides of, like, both kind of facets of our offense have been lately, I feel like as long as, like if they pick one apart, I feel like we should get the other part going. If they sell out for the run early, which I don't expect them to, but then there's very good chance that the pass game might open up. But if they're sitting on passes, I think we can run potentially all over them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think I agree. I think we can run another aspect of the run game. I think Caden's going to have to use his legs a good bit.
Definitely.
They seemed very susceptible to the quarterback run, and they got beaten by a couple teams with it.
And there's also a good chance that, I feel like UTSA never has bad D lines, especially
they get after it,
especially up the middle. I feel like he's going to get flushed outside quite a bit.
They get after it.
It would not at all surprise me if he's not only got to run the ball but improvise.
Yeah, not necessarily like a high havoc team, but they do get after it.
Right.
And there's something to be said. Hey, yeah, and sacks are hard to come by in college football. The ball is out of the quarterback's hand so fast. The things you can do in college football versus the NFL with the ability to move linemen down 5 yards down the field, and it's a little harder to get to the quarterback than I think the average fan might understand.
Right.
But like you said, they do get up the middle quick. We've seen Caton throw on the run and get outside. He's had success with it. He's actually pretty darn good at it.
Yeah.
I say it every week. Give me some Mike Wright, man.
Yeah.
I think we can beat this team with speed. It's something we've said all year on the show. We have a quick team. I'm with you. I think there's a heavy dose of run. Honestly, it's kind of what UTSA has done to a lot of teams this year. They lull you to sleep with these runs and then just these screen passes, and then they just kill you over the top.
Right.
And I think just, obviously I meant to look at the injury report on Yannick, but I think he's probably out for the year. If I had to guess.
I don't know, honestly.
But Smith, Brock, tight ends, we've killed folks down the seam this year. I think you should see a heavy dose of that. Don't necessarily love their linebacker play, but we're going to have to use our speed to take advantage of them. This defense is going to have to be stout against the run. Like Paul said, they got two bell cows back there.
Yep.
They're going to try to run the ball on you, and you got to find a way to make them one-dimensional. You got to make Owen beat you. And I think he can, which is worrisome, but
right.
It's going to be an interesting game Saturday.
I have a lot of confidence in this defense from what I've seen the last few weeks, though.
You got a score prediction?
38-24 Pirates. I think we end up kind of blowing it open late.
Yeah, so you're a lot more confident than me. I got 38-35.
I think this is
in a tight one late.
I think this is a dogfight. I just think that our defense will hold them below 30 for sure is my prediction. And then I think there's a score or two that just randomly comes in late to just make it look worse than it really is.
It's going to be an interesting game. Vegas is telling you everything you need to know. We can sit here and give you preview and analysis left and right, but the fact that it's a 2.5-point spread and this is a 500 football team, I think that tells you everything you need to know.
Right.
This is not going to be an easy matchup Saturday.
No.
Top 12. Mine looks more and more on what I think the playoff will look like every week. I'll lead us off here just because, well, I suck at gambling. Number one, they've been number one pretty much all year. The Ohio State Buckeyes. I think they are far and away the best team in the country. Yeah, I don't think they've really played much of anybody, but it's just hard to doubt them at this point. They beat everybody they play by a good margin. A team that's shown a little glimpse of weakness, but still, I think it's hard to move them from the 2 spot. Indiana.
Yeah.
Now the rest of this is where you start to see some movement. You let up 30 points in the first half, you're going to drop. The Georgia Bulldogs are your number 3 team in the nation.
Let's go.
They're, at least in that conference, the strongest looking team right now. They're playing some darn good football. Number 4, I got Texas A&M, followed by another team from the state of Texas Tech in the 5 spot. I got Oregon number 6. That's just because I believe in them a little bit more than the team I got at 7, although they are in a dangerous spot this weekend. Ole Miss at 7, Oklahoma at 8, followed by the team they just beat, Bama at 9. And here's where I get a little controversial, because Notre Dame's ranked ahead of them in every poll you look at. Well, they lost to this team, so I don't know how you rank them ahead of them. Miami at number 10. Number 11, Notre Dame. And number 12, I have the Tulane Green Wave.
A lot of similarity going on in ours. Our top 9 was just about identical. But I'll go ahead and just about just quote you here. Number 1, Ohio State. How could you put anyone else there? You can't. Number 2, Indiana, the bona fide second best team in the country, I think. Not only throughout this year, but I'd say as we speak too. Number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs, just like you. I had A&M at 3. Nay. Number 4, Texas A&M. Here comes the only difference right here. We had 5 and 6 switched. Number 5, I have the Oregon Ducks. Part of that, probably biased. Don't care. I like what I'm seeing out of Oregon as of late. Number 6, also love this team as of late. Texas Tech. They are playing some damn good football. Number 7, I have the Ole Miss Rebels, just like you. I think Ole Miss has a decent opportunity to move forward on this list, given what could go down with those 4, 5, and 6 ranked teams in the next couple weeks. Number 8, I have the Oklahoma Sooners, who just beat number 9, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Again, for all the reasons you've already stated, this is basically me just saying yours again. This is where it gets a little crazy, though. Number 10, I have the BYU Cougars, immediately followed by a team they just narrowly beat earlier in the season, and share a state with the Utah Utes. I am high on the Utes.
Still high on them.
I have been all season, and I think that there's a chance that the Big 12 is a 3-bid league. And then rounded out by number 12, Tulane. You'll notice there's a glaring omission there. I wanted to put Notre Dame in my top 12. Just if I wanted to put both BYU and Utah there, and there was no other place I could put them, and then I needed my G5 team. I also wrote 13 James Madison just because I feel like they deserve the credit for what they've done, and I value their record. But I think Tulane has they've played in a much tougher conference all season, just week in, week out, more grind games, as you saw with them losing to UTSA. I don't know if it's just a state of Virginia thing or what, but I get 2023 Liberty vibes from James Madison.
Yeah,
I think they're a much better team than that Liberty team ever even thought of being. I do like this James Madison team a lot.
Similar.
I think the committee learned from their mistake the last time with Liberty playing a weaker schedule than maybe a team that is also very good out of the G5 that probably has a better chance of going to beat a team in the playoff, even though it is highly unlikely.
I mean, similar to Texas Tech, they're a quarterback injury away from being unscathed.
Right.
I mean, they played with an injured quarterback against Louisville. They had the lead at the half with an injured quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Texas Tech would be undefeated if their quarterback was healthy all year.
Probably. I love
So,
Baron Morton. That dude is a baller.
yeah, I mean, the one game he doesn't play, they lose.
Right.
Like, they'd be a top 4 team in the nation. I mean, it's crazy to think about. Hop into the week 13 slate. Usually we do 5 games on the show. Usually we say when a slate sucks, that means it's going to be a good one. I have a hard time believing that this week.
Yeah, this is not one of those scenarios. I did write. I know you have a few games that you wrote. I wrote a few more that we can just do quick hits on, but you go ahead and get us started.
Let me do my double check real quick because I know I have one of them. Okay. Didn't know if I had 2. I knew I had one of them.
Yeah.
Leading off, Missouri's at Oklahoma. Oklahoma 7.5-point favorite. Sneaky spot for the Boomer Sooners. 41.5 is your total. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Because we got a freshman quarterback and a defense that plays good ball. I think there's a legit shot Missouri keeps this within a number.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they can win the football game, but I think they could keep it within the number.
I think they could. It's just I don't trust their operation at the moment against Oklahoma's defense.
I agree. I just think this OU defense is going to be a little much, especially that it is in Norman.
Right.
We'll see, but
I agree with you that I definitely think Mizzou can keep this a game for most of the way. I think Oklahoma's just going to be too much.
Yeah, I agree. I also forgot to write totals on this crap, so I'm trying to do it as we talk. Ooh. All right. I think the biggest matchup of the week, at least from a national standpoint, USC is traveling to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Ducks. The Ducks are a 9.5-point favorite, 59.5 is your total. I will say, of the marquee matchups this week, I think you're looking at a lot of sleepy spots or a lot of lookout spots.
Yeah.
I'm going to withhold a pick, but I think, man, this is an interesting line and an interesting game.
If I'm Oregon, if I'm an Oregon fan, I am absolutely cautious about this game. I think Oregon goes and wins this game, probably not comfortably, but I think they do go and for lack of a better term, handle business. But USC they're a weird team to me.
I don't know what strange.
I don't know what to think of them on a week-to-week basis.
They're a different team every week.
Exactly. And so because of that, I'm going to take Oregon. Just there's more of a consistent factor there, I guess. But that's I think it's absolutely the marquee matchup of the weekend, like you were saying.
Yeah. Last one I got written down. Tulane, 7.5-point favorites heading to Philly to take on the Temple Owls. 56.5 is your total. I'm picking with my heart. Let's go Owls.
Yeah,
I don't think they can do it, but God bless, it would be great.
I think they can. It's a matter of if that team. What are they sitting at right now? Are they 5-5?
I think they're right now, just because I
think they're 500.
I have that pulled up. They are 500. They are 5-5.
They still got a lot to play for as far as making a bowl game. It's a matter of if they've given up yet. If they go out there knowing that within the next 2 weeks against probably the 2 best teams in the conference, they got to win one of them to make a bowl game. This is their last home game. they're going to do everything they can, I assume, to do it at home.
Impress all 2,000 of their fans.
Exactly. But I'm just saying so it's not a difficult last weekend of the season road environment at, I believe, North Texas.
Yes.
So I really screw it. I'm going Temple too. The safe pick is Tulane, obviously, but I'm there with you. We need Temple, and I've done a pretty decent job gambling, so I'm going to gamble on Temple.
Hey, well, what do you got?
Well, there's another. Speaking of one of those teams, there's another important game in the conference. North Texas at Rice is, I feel like,
The
slightly.
Owl Gauntlet for North Texas.
Yeah, right. These green conference contenders are stuck with the Owls, but I think North Texas will win the game. I do not think Rice will take it easy on them. I mean, this is an in-state game. Whether it's a rivalry or not, or I almost guarantee you it's not. Don't care though. Both teams are going to be ready to play. It's at Rice, who I don't think will be there packing out their stadium necessarily, considering I think they're out of bowl contention.
No, they're 5-5.
Oh, they're 5-5. Okay. Well then, yeah. Give me Rice. I'm taking the team with implications at home.
God,
The team playing spoiler. Oh, I know, but I mean,
hey, they played UConn close.
UConn's a damn good team.
They played UConn close.
UConn's a good football team.
37-34 to UConn.
It's a good football team.
At home, for what it's worth.
Yeah, which Rice, not really a good football team, but you never know what they're going to do on any given day. So give me the Owls. I also Pitt at Georgia Tech.
It's a very interesting game.
You talk about implications. The ACC, I assume, is relying heavily on Georgia Tech here.
I've been high on them all year, and I am so sleepy on them now. They are not a good football team.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the standings right now, or at least I'm trying to.
The Georgia Tech carriage is turning into a pumpkin very fast.
Oh, absolutely. ESPN side. There we go. Yeah, Georgia Tech currently sitting at first place in the conference and is the second highest ranked team in the ACC. They need this one. So Georgia Tech and Virginia, sitting at 6-1 in conference play. Pitt sitting at 5-1 with loses, and then Miami and Duke enter the mix. Georgia Tech being the only team in the ACC with only one loss overall. The ACC, for their playoff sake, has to have them. Pitt will get ranked if they beat Georgia Tech, but there's a lot better shot of things going their way if Georgia Tech wins this game. And honestly, I kind of like Pitt to play spoiler here. I think Pitt might go win that game.
They might. They really might. I don't disagree with that at all.
What worries me is the fact that Narduzzi, with what he said about Notre Dame last week, and he was absolutely correct. I hope that hasn't hindered their outlook on the rest of the season. But I cannot trust this Georgia Tech team at all. As much as I love Haynes King and just a lot of that team, I cannot trust them whatsoever.
Yeah. They play every game close.
Every single game.
No, they do not beat teams very like every game is tight with them, which just scares the crap out of me.
Right.
But got any others?
Two other ones I had. Tennessee at Florida, I think, is pretty sketchy. I really want to take Florida. I'm not sold on Tennessee. I won't even talk anymore. I'm gonna let all the talk about this game start from you in the next segment. But
no comment.
That's what I think. And then BYU at Cincinnati is a terrible spot for BYU. That is scary.
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati is they've been a pretty damn good football team this year. You get them at home in that environment, which Nippert is always rocking. This is probably I would say this is absolutely Cincinnati's best season in the Big 12 so far. They're 7-3 right now. They could absolutely figure out a way to sneak into the title game and go and just backdoor their way into a Big 12 championship, kind of like ECU has that opportunity right now.
Yeah.
It's just something about Cincinnati, especially with BYU being the team that's coming to town this week, worries me a lot for BYU. So I at least like that game in the number, whatever it is, because I don't even have it written down. But
give me the Bearcats. I just don't believe in BYU. Give me the Bearcats.
I've been believing in BYU. Part of it is just me trying to will them to wins based on the fact that the better they are, the better it makes us look.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But that's all I got for the slate. If we want to dive into picks.
That's all you, buddy. You
all
lead
right.
us off.
Let's get it going. We're going to start with an under because I hope both of these fan bases have a just disgustingly horrible time watching this game. Duke at Carolina, under 51.5. I think neither team scores over. I don't know if either team scores over 25 points. It might be a great game as far as it being close. It's going to be a lot of disgusting football, though. I think Duke probably wins it fairly easily, but I don't see a bunch of points in this game. Moving to the Big 12, Houston is a 1.5 point favorite at home against TCU, which I feel like I've liked Houston.
Training.
Well, no, I've been riding Houston. I gave me him to cover 1.5 at home against a TCU team that has been very much untrustworthy. TCU sitting at 6-4, 3-4 in the Big 12, with I don't think really any notable wins or results. I mean, Houston, yeah, we watched them kind of get smoked by Texas Tech, but who hasn't gotten smoked by Texas Tech aside from
I can't think of their one loss. It might be Houston.
No, Houston lost to him 35-11. Houston
got it right here.
Did also lose to West Virginia, but they get a pass because
Arizona State.
That's right. Houston's other loss is to West Virginia, which isn't a very good loss, but I'm going to give it the I went and saw a game at the team you lost to bump. So, yeah, give me Houston to win by 2 or more at home against a mediocre TCU team. Nebraska plus 8.5 in Happy Valley. I love that. I think Nebraska I just something about this Penn State team. Every single game is close. And I just don't see them coming out on the winning end of it. So, honestly, I took Nebraska to cover. There's a very good chance they win this game, I think. Two kind of sleepy teams at the moment, but I've also been on Nebraska since the start of the season, so this is one of my last opportunities to ride for them. So, give me the Huskers plus 8.5. Illinois at Wisconsin. Give me the Illini minus 7.5. Wisconsin sucks. I think Illinois wins this game by 10 or more. What?
Who did Wisconsin? Wisconsin just beat somebody.
They did. And I'm
blanking, but
I'm trying. I knew it when I made that pick, and it didn't matter to me. But
yeah, it's actually what worries me about Temple this week, for what it's worth, just because Tulane just got trounced.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah. But I like Illinois to win that by 10 or more, probably. I just think Illinois is a much more sound and consistent football team, which is funny because they haven't really been a very consistent football team this year. But I think Wisconsin's just about dead. And then
Washington
back into the
2 weeks ago.
Back into the ACC. Yeah, I think Illinois will handle them better than Washington probably. But Cal at Stanford, big time rivalry, a long time just notable ACC rivalry.
When
You
you
got
think
your
ACC, that's who you think of.
you got your I mean you got your State Carolina, you got your Duke Carolina, you got your Carolina Virginia, you got NC State Maryland, you got Florida State Clemson, and you got Cal Stanford. Those are your big ones in throughout the entire lore of the ACC. 46.5 your total. Give me the under. I think
Two
neither
unders.
team's. I think neither team scores 20 points. These are two ACC rivalry unders. I just, both these games are going to suck so much, and I promise you, I will not be watching any of them. I'll be checking in periodically, but I won't be watching. Um, Actually, I might watch Cal Stanford. I'm definitely not watching Duke Carolina,
No,
but
I
yeah.
can promise you I won't watch either.
I don't know if either team has scored 46.5 points all season long, so I don't think either team's going to do it in this game. So, or I think them combined is not exactly a high octane kind of performance. That's my 5.
Oh, 22 and 38 on the year, Paul. Shooting
Yikes.
36%. If I was a three-point shooter, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is gambling and not three-point shooting. 2 and 3 last week. Hoping to improve. Hoping to have one of those good weeks. I've had a few. The AP poll, the conference football playoff poll isn't giving him any love. I'll give him some love. James Madison is a 14-point favorite against Washington State at home. I like the Dukes.
I did see that and almost took Washington State.
I lean the Dukes here.
I also lean the Dukes.
Marshall is traveling to Boone, North Carolina.
I looked at this game as well.
If you look at some bowl predictors, my preferable bowl as of right now, off of what I've seen, is us playing Marshall in Myrtle Beach. I'd like that. I think Marshall's a pretty decent football team. 4.5 points against an App State team that just got drummed by James Madison last week.
That's a sad state of affairs up there in Boone.
4.5 is all we got.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, give me Marshall. Said I wasn't giving a pick for a reason. I like the 9.5. I like it. Give me the Trojans. Keeping it close against the Ducks this weekend. I don't think they beat them, but I think they keep it close and scare them. If they do beat them, the Big Ten is a two-bid league.
Oh, absolutely.
Is a two-bid league. I don't think USC has enough to sneak in. It's going to be close.
The thing is they are ranked, 15th right now?
Yes. It will be close. It will be really close.
They did that on purpose to give them a chance, is all I'm going to say.
My next two picks coincide with each other.
Okay.
Vanderbilt is a 9.5-point favorite versus Kentucky. I'm pretty sure last week Kentucky just absolutely bodied Florida. Or was it 2 weeks ago? Might have been 2 weeks ago.
It was a couple weeks ago, I believe.
I'll tell you right now. It was 2 weeks ago. Because that was the last page I had in here. Because I took Florida. Yeah. Give me Vanderbilt. Kentucky ain't no damn good.
No.
They're just not. It's Vandy at home. Vandy, yeah, they might not have much to play for anymore, but I think in their eyes, I don't think they'll get in, but in their eyes, they think they have a shot, which
That's
is
all
I need.
Exactly.
That is all I need as a gambler. They think they have a shot, and they know they got to prove something. You got 2 games left.
Time to go prove it.
Give me the Commodores at home.
Roll
and on
doors.
That same wavelength, Florida frickin' sucks.
Oh, they do.
Florida's awful. Yeah, they gave Ole Miss a little scare there for a little bit. I think the juice is just gone in that program this year. Give me Tennessee minus the 4, even though it is in Ben Hill Griffin. or Ben Griffin, whatever the hell it's called, the
Yeah,
damn swamp.
you got it right.
I think Tennessee's a much better football team than Florida, obviously. I think Tennessee's still a quality football team. Yeah, not a playoff team, might not have much to play for,
They're
but
good.
this is a massive rivalry, believe it or not. For those folks that are not SEC fans, these two teams hate each other.
In the 90s, this was the game.
The game in the 90s and early 2000s for that matter. It used to be the battle for the SEC East. If it wasn't Georgia, Florida, it was Florida, Tennessee. I like the Volunteers here, and that is my 5, which leads us to Paul's jersey matchups of the week.
I'm actually gonna work on trying to get a video this week and test that out. But we'll do a little teaser for this week. Couple uniforms that were announced earlier in the day. Marshall's going white out in Boone with sick helmet. There we look at that. I mean, that's just a sweet uni. Love that helmet. Utah with a just nasty blackout.
I wasn't ready for that yet. I wasn't ready for that yet.
The Utes.
Got ahead of myself.
The Utes.
Oh, hold up. You went out of order here, man. Bear with me.
Oh, sorry.
All right. The Utes. Sorry. Boom.
It's just look at the red just pops on the black. They're bringing out the feather logo. Just so good. Now we can go back to the one that you just flashed for a second. Little FCS helmet action. Holy Cross, believe, is playing in Fenway this weekend, and they got some fun Fenway Park imagery on the top of their logo, which is sweet. Not uniforms that are being worn this week, but I guess 3 weekends from now. But both Army and Navy unveiled their uniforms for the Army-Navy game. Here's Army's, both celebrating the 250th anniversary of the founding of their said military branches. Army, you saw they had the
switch that back. Yeah.
The I believe Constitution or Declaration of Independence, whichever one font for the nameplate, which is sweet, and then go over to the Navy one.
Those Navy ones are tight.
What a reveal too! Just sweet, just setting and all that. So credit to their media crew, but hand painted helmets for all of them with just like the burnt like map material or like paper almost. They got like ropes wrapped around. Oh, it's just everything about it, especially the helmet is so good. I would absolutely wear one of those Navy jerseys if anyone halfway important in the Navy realm of things is listening by chance, or Army too. I'll take whatever jerseys anyone wants to send me.
We'll take free things.
If there's one thing I like, it's free stuff. I will wear it proudly on the show, unless you happen to be that light blue team. But that's obviously, again, those aren't being worn this week, but some big breaking news in the uniform world from the last week or so. Now into some matchups. My old head, these kind of nostalgia matchups. Mizzou, Oklahoma, old Big 8 / Big 12. It's gonna look right. Miami, Virginia Tech. If you're a Big East guy, there's your Big East. Tennessee, Florida is just always classic. Harvard, Yale is this weekend, Jacob Miller.
What a matchup.
The game. Harvard, Yale. Both of those teams always just look so classic, especially when they're playing each other. It's always a good look. So I get excited for that game. Bunch of overload on colors this week. The Raging Cajuns are going to Jonesboro, Arkansas to take on the Red Wolves. So much red. Rutgers, Ohio State in a scarlet out. Louisville, SMU, and most likely a whole bunch more red, although For all I know, SMU will wear blue and Louisville will wear black. Old Dominion, Georgia Southern, just navy in your face. UConn, FAU, same thing. And then the Green Beans, USF and UAB. And it's back, baby.
I mean, we talked about one of them already.
It's back. Well, we'll get to that. Hawaii, UNL. We've talked about two of them, but
yeah.
Hawaii at UNLV or on Friday night. You get your before the weekend even starts. We're going to have one under our belt. It's glorious. Charlotte at Georgia, green and red again. USC Oregon is another banger one, and then be on high alert for Baylor Arizona. If Arizona rolls up in red, there's your colorblind number 4 of the week. And that concludes that. And be on the lookout for, hopefully, I'll get out a tweet with a video going through everything by Saturday morning.
I'm gonna try to get back to posting clips this week too. I've been lazy about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if people actually watch them or not, but I'll try to get back to it. I should have time. I don't think I'm going to be doing much at work tomorrow. That concludes it for week 13 of the Down East Sports College Football Show. We will be with you.
What was that accent?
I don't know. It
College
seems fun.
Football shit.
Football shit. If you're on Twitter, which is the majority of you folks, if you're not following us, give us a follow. Before we conclude here, retweet the stream, give it a like. Helps with interaction, helps grow the show, helps grow the community.
We are slaves to the algorithm.
Yeah. Hey, help us out where you can. We appreciate the viewership every week. Hopefully y'all missed us while we weren't here last week. If you are on the lack of appendix is changing his eyes.
You're right, Zach. You're right. Football shit.
No shit. That was my appendix leaving my body. Even if you are on Twitter, hop over to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Twitch, follow us. If you feel real fruity about it, subscribe.
If you feel,
dude, I don't know.
However you feel, subscribe.
I'm on a lot of pain meds. Anyways, that about wraps it up here. Before I say more dumb things, we appreciate the viewership. We'll be back here next Wednesday, as long as I don't have another medical emergency, at 8 o'clock on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow us everywhere. Look out for tweets. We'll be probably doing it during the game. That does it this week, boys. Take care, folks.